What is going on, everybody? Frontstretch.com coming at you live from the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500 for pre-race conversation. I'm Alex Gintz. We've got Michael Massie, Christopher DeHarde here with me. We are looking, gentlemen, at perhaps one of the most stressful days at the 500 in recent memory. First things first, are we going to get this race in? And if we don't, what does that look like?
Fortunately, I'm not a meteorologist, but what I can tell you is that there have been reports that there might be rain coming in around noon, light showers, maybe clear up, take about 90 minutes to dry the track, and we might have a window in the afternoon to get the race in. But it's been so crazy how over the last couple of days how some weather's going some ways, some weather's going in other ways, but we really aren't going to know until it actually gets here. Then again, the track record for this race has actually been pretty good in terms of rain. The last time we had a major delay or rain situation here at the track was in 2007 when the race ended early. There were a few sprinkles in 2017, I think, but those were minor. 2004, the race ended early, and there was actually a major tornado watch. I was there that year. And then the last time the 500 was actually delayed an entire day because of rain was 1997. So we have a good, for lack of a better term, track record, but it hasn't looked this bad in quite a while. I still remember 2019, on the way to the track, it was actually raining that morning, and we got to the track, and wouldn't you know it, about an hour later, cleared up, everything was fine. 2017, I was here for the race, covered it, and then about 45 minutes after the race ended, deluge, a whole place. It was bad. So we're not going to know until it gets here. It's Indiana weather is very unpredictable. So yeah, we're not going to know until it gets here.
Okay. Well, hopefully it does. Hopefully we get this race in. And assuming that we do get this race in, or at least get it started, the person that's going to be leading the field to the green flag is Team Penske's Scott McLaughlin, ahead of his Team Penske teammate Will Power, ahead of his Team Penske teammate Joseph Newgarden. Massie, as someone who focuses mostly on NASCAR, this being your first time at the Speedway, what kind of impression does that give you about the race going forward, that one team just kind of came in and swept the field like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the same thing in NASCAR, where over there it's Joe Gibbs Racing, Hendrick Motorsports winning every single week. Penske sweeping the front row, first time in over 30 years. Impressive feat. They're going to be tough to beat. I don't want to just crown them just yet, though, because we still got 500 miles, right? Anything could happen. And those three guys, they aren't exactly all the best of friends anymore. Anyway, so we might have them race each other. One of them wants to get ahead a little bit. Maybe they get a little too aggressive, and something happens. All of a sudden, the race is wide open. So I wouldn't give them another Borg Warner Trophy just yet, even though they might get it.
Yeah, they might have a hand on the trophy already.
Yeah. Someone who's also going to be looking to get their hands on that trophy, who I would think it's fair to say that they shocked a lot of people coming into qualifying and into the race, was Kyle Larson. He's attempting the double, running the Indianapolis 500 and NASCAR's Coke 600 in the same day. 1,100 miles of racing. Holy cow. Christopher, based on the previous double attempts, is there anything we can take from those for Larson's attempt, or does the combination of, this is a new car, he's from a different generation of NASCAR drivers, what is it fair for Indianapolis 500 fans to expect out of him?
So I think it's going to be, first of all, he's going to do very well, I think, because he's a smart racing driver. He knows how to figure things out. Qualifying fifth, that's a remarkable achievement for any rookie in the Indy 500. Fernando Alonso did that back in 2017. We have, when Tony Stewart did it the first time back in 1999, he finished 10th, 4 laps down in the 500. He finished, I think, also in the top 10 in the 600 too. But when you look at him after the race, he was collapsed on the ground. 2 years later, he was fit, firm, and he was ready to go do another feature race at a sprint car track afterwards if he wanted to. But you look at how much nutrition and science technology and all that kind of stuff, sports technology has taken advantage of, the times and everything like that. Kurt Busch had a relatively easy way to get over to Charlotte. Didn't have any weather to deal with. Larson might have some weather to deal with. He'll have an IV on the way to Charlotte. Assuming the rain doesn't affect his plans too much, he should do pretty well. So in one of my random Indy 500 predictions that I did with a few friends of mine at dinner a couple nights ago, I had Larson pinned for around a 7th or an 8th place finish. I think he'll start the race pretty well. I think the first half of the race is going to go well, but the last 20 laps, people are not going to play nice with him anymore. Mm-hmm. Kurt Busch finished 6th here in 2014. He had a very good car for Andretti at the time, Andretti Autosport. I think this year, Larson will have the same kind of car, but the field is a lot closer and a lot more bunched up than what it has been in years past. I have him pinned for around 7th or 8th place, assuming he doesn't get caught up in anybody else's wrecks, assuming he doesn't have a mechanical, and assuming he doesn't do anything stupid.
Fair enough. Massie, as a NASCAR guy, what does this attempt that Larson's making just mean for the people on your side of the fence?
Oh, I think, well, for one, it shows that, Kyle Larson is a bad man. Like, that man can hop in anything, race anything. I mean, put him on a lawnmower and have him race that. Put him in the Kentucky Derby. Let's have him race that.
Well, that's horsepower, though.
Yeah,
would he be the horse or the jockey?
He'd be the jockey. He's small enough.
Yeah, he's about the same size. And then the other thing, too, is, like, if he comes over here and runs well, it makes all NASCAR drivers look, well, the guys that race him week to week, because it's not like Kyle Larson wins every week, right? Like, he has Denny Hamlin beat him some weeks. He has Chase Elliott beat him and William Byron. And so, like, it really raises the stock of the driver over there. It's just one of the situations. It rises all tides. It benefits all of motorsports to see him do this today.
Okay. So coming off the back of that question, and please do not give me the same answer as we just did, because then I'll have to think of something new. But who is the dark horse coming into this race?
So when I did my Indy 500 predictions with my friends and a couple of other podcasts, the second of the 3 picks that I made was my contender pick. And for me, Felix Rosenqvist. Mm-hmm. He's happy with his team, Meyer Shank Racing. He got the team on the front row at St. Petersburg. He qualified on the pole at Long Beach, was the team's first ever pole. He's done a lot of great things for that organization. They've shown they can do good things here. They won the race in 2021. Jack Harvey was on the podium at the road course race here in 2019. I think that he is a legitimate dark horse. Now, I don't want to go out there and just say, Elio's going to win his 5th today, because quite frankly, like, winning from the 7th row of the grid is going to be a massive challenge, because, like, granted, Newgarden won from the 6th row last year, but in a Penske car, it's different than a Meyer Shank car. It's going to be a lot tougher for Elio to win than it will be for Felix Rosenqvist to win. But we talked about 2 of the 3 Meyer Shank cars. Tom Blomqvist, I think he can finish anywhere between 10th and 13th. He's very, very smart. He has driven Formula cars before. He actually finished, I think, 2nd or 3rd in like a 2014, I think it was an F3 Championship Series. I think he beat Verstappen, actually. He's driven in sports cars the last few years. He is, you mentioned Kyle Larson being a bad man. Tom Blomqvist in a DPI or an LMDH car is a bad man. He is very good. He's very, very talented. And I think with the right set of circumstances, he could finish anywhere between 10th and 13th place. Okay.
Massie, do you feel ready to pick a dark horse, or are you holding off a bit?
I got a dark horse.
All right.
I'm going to go with Marcus Ericsson, because won the race 2 years ago. You can argue he should have won it last year. Coming from the last row. Has that ever happened before? You guys would know.
I mean, the furthest back anybody's ever come to winning the Indy 500 was 28th, 1911, and I believe 1936 was the other time.
So there you go.
That would be a dark horse for sure. Yeah.
You asked for a dark horse. I gave you the darkest of horses.
The darkest of horses. All right. All right. Coming off the back of that, just to keep you on the spot, who's going to win that isn't a dark horse? Who can we fairly expect to win?
I'm going to go Will Power. Gets his 2nd Indy 500. I feel like I got to pick someone from the Penske camp. Newgarden won it last year. Scotty Mack, I don't know. I just feel like something's going to happen to mess up that bid. I think Will Power is going to come through and win it.
There's a history of that happening with Scotty Mack, isn't there, at this place?
A little bit. He had a crash a couple of years ago. In fact, Massie, you actually gave my Penske pick. I gave a Penske pick contender pick and after the top 12 pick. My Penske pick was Will Power. When he won this race in 2018, he started in second place. He's got 70 pole positions in IndyCar competition, does not have a single pole at the Indianapolis 500, which is crazy, but it's true. Power started second like 3 times this year. He's finished second in every race this year except for Long Beach. He's actually my Penske pick to win the 500. But yeah, it's going back to Scotty Mack. He did have a collision here 2 years ago. Last year, finishing 14th, that was his best finish ever in an Indy 500 so far. But he does have a little bit of help this year. Back in January or February of this year, he asked for some help from Simon Pagenaud, and Pagenaud opened up his books. Pagenaud took a lot of notes during his time at Team Penske about how every single day went. He talked with McLaughlin, and Scott won the pole. And I think Scott's going to do well in the beginning of the race, but I don't know. Massie, I think, hit it right on the head that something just might go wrong with Scotty Mack, that he won't get the Borg Warner Trophy today. But then again, we might only run 101 laps here today.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
Who's
Man,
your pick?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, come on.
I wanted to
your
say,
pick,
I want to
Alex?
say Will Power just because I would love for him to actually finally get it done. I feel like the fact that his first win being a mileage race might weigh on him a little bit because he's just such a fierce competitor. He's so hard on himself.
Well, it wasn't really a mileage race for him. It was more of a mileage race for
the people in front of him.
Exactly.
Yes. And I would love to see him just win one fighting for it until the last lap, whether that's lap 101 or 200. But since y'all said that, I really like how McLaughlin has looked over the weekend. He's got the all-time pole record at this track. He was on rails all through qualifying. He kept things clean in practice. Things are going to come together for the Yellow Submarine today, and it's going to be back in victory lane with a New Zealander in the cockpit. To wrap things up, where can the people find you on the app that shall not be named?
I'll just say Twitter. I don't care. I don't care. I am at DeHarde on Twitter. I also have a YouTube channel, Christopher DeHarde. And if you're watching this and you're looking to go to the Indy 500 next year, I made a YouTube video about a first-timer's guide to go into the 500. Did it help y'all get here this year?
Yeah, a good bit. How about you, Massie?
So find me at M_Massie22 and look for all our stuff here on the Frontstretch open wheel page and frontstretch.com.
All right, yep. I'm on Twitter as well at AlexGintz1, and we're on Twitter at FS Open Wheel for our open wheel content, at Frontstretch for the Frontstretch content at large, at Frontstretch on YouTube for all Frontstretch content relating to NASCAR, and Frontstretch Open Wheel for the IndyCar and F1 side of things, as well as being on the web at frontstretch.com.
If you
Let's
don't
have a
use a
great
keyboard,
race.
you can find us.
Let's have a great race, guys.
What's up? Michael Massie here, frontstretch.com. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.